Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energy to you. Beautiful viewer, today's reading will be taking a look at the immediate future and what spirit wants to share with you in regards to what is energetically coming into being for your future. Now keep in mind that we do have free will, and you can definitely change your future based on your actions. Tarot readings are there to help bring awareness, and you are definitely in control of your own destiny and fate, provided you take action in regards to what it is that you're wanting to accomplish in your life. So with that being said, keep in mind this is a general reading. Not everything is going to resonate. In order for you to know whether you've tapped into the right pile, you want to lean in on your intuition, and if it feels it's resonating, then it's most likely your message when you find this video, as all these videos are timeless. Now, if you're working on developing your intuition and you're not quite sure, best way to develop your intuition is come up with an object, animal, color, person, place, thing, phrase, song, whatever it is that's going to come up during your reading that will indeed confirm to you that this is your pile. And that might be the best way for you to know whether this pile is meant for you and that message is meant to find you. All right, so feel free to pause the video. Whichever card you're intuitively guided towards will most likely have the message for you today. We have the moth from your first option. That will be in the timestamp and in the description box and in the pinned comment below. We have the wolf for option number 2, and then we have the firefly for option number 3. Feel free to pause. I'll leave the video on for a little bit here so you can take your time, and whichever pile or card you're intuitively guided towards, I will see you at your pick. Hello, my beautiful moth group. You picked pile number 1, and this moth. So moth is interesting because the moth could indicate that maybe there is something you're looking to transition away from, or something you're kind of attracted to. Although we might be idolizing something here as being better than what it is that we have. So let's take a look and see what is coming in for the immediate future for you guys, moth group. So we have insecurity. We have guilt. We have the tailor, attention to detail and pride. We have dynamic, number 23. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. We have sorrow. We have progressions with journey, number 56, or the number 11. Now feel free to pause the video and kind of zoom into these cards, because you'll see everything from, you know, an iron here, looks like a water bottle, a halo, a heart, a devil, a pitchfork, a clock, Roman numerals. There might be something here that with your intuition you are kind of wanting or expecting to see here. We see scissors here. So yeah, feel free to zoom in, use your intuition here to recognize whether this is indeed your pile or not. We have dandelion with vitality, empowerment, and perseverance. Just going to shuffle these over slightly. All right. We have Archangel Michael with trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concern and allow a miracle to occur. We have grounding with the anchor. We have perseverance coming out again. Where did we see perseverance here? Oh, right here with the dandelion. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And we have exposed with 17. All right, let's pull some tarot as well. We'll ask Spirit for clear and concise message here for beautiful pile number 1. And Spirit is wanting me to read them in the upright. So we have the Ace of Wands. Thank you so much, Spirit, for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1. What is coming to pile number 1 in the immediate future? What is coming in the immediate future for pile number 1? And pile number 1, thank you so, so much for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. Thank you so, so much. I'm so blessed. All right, so we have the 7 of Wands. We have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles. And I am feeling one more here. We have Death. Okay. Moving them over so you guys can see what we've got. Okay, beautiful. Pile number 1. What do we have? So, a difficult situation that you've been in for quite some time, and maybe you've been in limbo, and it's bringing kind of sadness to you because I feel like you want to do something about it, or you've wanted to do something about it. You've been really actively going over what you can do here, and I feel like it's got you kind of in a practical trap. So it's either how you're living or like your environment, or you know, could be where you're working, but something practical about your life right now that I feel you're wanting to break away from. I feel like it's been for some time here where maybe you felt almost like you had to provide a certain level of dedication. Maybe you've been at that job for some time, or in a relationship for some time, or in some sort of living arrangement for some time here, and you've been thinking about, you know, what it would be like to move forward and break out of a situation. For some of you guys, it could be that there is something you're really desiring, but in a practical sense, it doesn't seem like you'd be able to kind of make it work. Yeah, feels like you might not be able to make it work. And for some of you guys, you might be thinking, you know, like, am I sacrificing something that works in a practical way here in order for me to follow my bliss, or take a risk, or do something that, you know, you're not quite sure where it's going to result to. I feel like what Spirit is saying is there's something you're hanging on to, or at least kind of putting yourself in some situation here out of a level of, I don't know, like it doesn't bring you happiness, but either you feel like, again, like you have to remain dedicated for whatever reason. But I feel like what you are engaged with here in a, there's another side here. So either you're accepting the fact that there is something that is greater for you, and I feel like yeah, like you feel like you're really stuck in the logical aspect of making a movement towards what that looks like, because I feel like it's going to require you to totally change, or yeah, like put an end to something here. So end of a job, end of a relationship, end of whatever, move out of your home state, whatever is going on here. I feel like it's going to, you know, be a big shift here for you. But I feel you're at that point where you've been trying to hang on to, or make as much out of your situation as possible. But I think you're right at the point where there's a new opportunity for you. And I think you know it. And I think you've been hanging on to something here, and Spirit is saying you're going to essentially cut whatever that is out, because I think you've been stressed out and semi involved in two realities here. Okay, like you've been involved in your practical world that I think you've been in for quite some time, and I think you've been dabbling, is the only word I can use here, in experiencing something else here that I think you feel brings you more happiness, or at least it appears to be kind of like the grass is greener there for you, or calling to you in some way. But now the practical aspect is, how do you make that jump? How do you move? And I think it's brought you a lot of sadness, because at the same token, I feel there is a desire to hang on to something here that maybe brought comfort at one point, or it's just difficult to close that chapter and move on. I feel like you've been in this state for quite some time, and what's happening here in the immediate future is, I think you come to terms with what this is, and I think you have no choice but to make a decision one way or another, to choose either to consistently remain in what it is that, you know, you are having a hard time letting go of, although I feel like it's outstayed its welcome, or you've outgrown whatever this is in some way. But maybe it wasn't the right timing for you, or you were not quite sure. I just feel like you were always observing what you kind of wanted at a distance here, but not acting on it, and trying to keep together the pieces, or trying to make functional and invest your energy and make functional your existing situation. Although I feel like you kind of know intuitively that a new chapter in your life is going to bring in a new energy here that I feel you're wanting, but I feel like you haven't been grounded, or at least you've been in your head about this, and maybe it's difficult to bring in logic, because logically everything points to this practical world that you live in that makes sense, but inside it doesn't feel right, or at least something seems like it's like your intuition and your spirits and your deep desire here, I feel, is knowing that remaining unhappy or remaining in the same old is not the right answer. At least you feel like you've outgrown it. So I feel like there's been a dynamic here of half in, half out, or a transitional state. So you haven't been committed to one way or another. And this has brought in a lot of pain. And it could be that you are needing to really decide one way or another, okay, which is going to take you having to get very grounded. But I feel like you've been very, like you've been consistent, but you've also been very dedicated to not allowing yourself to give up in any sort of way on this hope, or this new idea, this new job, this new career, this new relationship, this new thing I feel here that I feel you've kind of been hanging on to, although I feel like you've been in a state of limbo. And maybe with the insecurity and the guilt, I feel like an old situation, or your situational circumstances here, were not preventing you, quote unquote, because I feel like this is something you've had to work through internally, not allowing you to move forward in one way or another. So you're kind of dedicating yourself to a state of limbo. Spirit is saying that at some point you have either wished or prayed or given up this this idea to God, to your spirit guides, to allow you to move towards what is best for you. And I feel like the message here is allow things to happen here without resistance or fighting. I feel like something here is now coming into full awareness into your environment that I feel you can no longer maintain in this limbo land, okay? Or yeah, I feel like something is being here with the exposed. Something is coming forward here in which you're going to intuitively know that you're going to have to go one way or another, or decide one way or another, okay? Because I do feel like you've had enough sorrow, and you've had enough of being in this limbo energy. You know, although I feel it was really drawn out, and I feel it is because of you not allowing yourself to break out of another situation, or at least letting go of something here that I feel you think might be a better option for you, but I don't know why there's no full commitment here. So you might be drawn to it, but that's the extent. Yeah, so what's in the immediate future? I feel like something happens. I'm feeling with this exposed, it's almost like something is revealed here in a way of a truth. Okay, and I feel it involves not only you, but another here, where then you kind of have to decide one way or another. I just feel like you can no longer maintain whatever limbo land that you're in here, because I feel like something comes to the surface that you can't just, you know, chalk up to something else other than what it actually is, which is the truth of the matter, which is I think things really need to shift and change. And I feel like this is something you've spent a lot of time and dedication, and either you put in a lot of energy, a lot of effort, you've really been trying to hold it together, I feel here, but the more you've tried to hold it together, I still feel like there's something huge that's been missing. Like you've been kind of really in almost like a depressed state here. It's not bringing that true deep happiness and that passion maybe as it once did. So I feel like there is this opportunity coming in the near future for you to actually step into this new opportunity that I think you've been in limbo about. And I don't really see here why you've been so held back. And for everyone, it could be something different. But here we have insecurity, guilt. Maybe you feel like you couldn't make it happen, or something about you maybe, yeah, feeling like you couldn't make it happen. You've been quite guarded, I feel here too. And maybe you've been held back by, well, we see the devil here, which could be toxic patterns, toxic ways of being. Maybe you were stuck in a habitual way here. Maybe you felt a heavy sense of guilt in some capacity. But I feel like the guilt has been coming due to you being in the state that you're in, which is not committing either which way to some part of what you're wanting to focus on here, because you'd have to let go of something in order to move on. You know, so Spirit is saying, you know, with the trusting heaven, Archangel Michael comes out when you're being asked to just surrender your concerns and allow things to happen without having to really control, because there you would follow really kind of where your heart is pulling you towards. So maybe you're hanging on to a sense of pride here. I also feel like you feel, if you were to move forward towards what is calling to you, the brighter light, the greener grass, whatever you want to call it, the new chapter here, I feel like a part of you almost feels like you don't know if you have it in you, or you're questioning your ability here to persevere, and allow yourself to successfully do this. So I feel like what Spirit is really saying here with the moth and this trusting heaven, okay, and the journey cards, all talking about you having to trust yourself here and allow things to unfold without resisting and without talking yourself kind of out of something here, because that's stemming from a place of, you know, potentially a wounded place. Maybe you've been, you know, where you've experienced something that was hurtful in the past. So now it's kind of you know, your wounds kind of trying to guide you in some way, or yeah, like trust the journey, because the journey is half of here what Spirit's wanting you to experience. Okay, but again, we have free will, so you could choose to stay in whatever circumstance you're in here, although I don't feel you want to at all. Okay, I really don't feel you want to, and I feel like this is why there is this state of unhappiness, really. I mean, with the sorrow card here, I feel like you're kind of torn here, and I feel like you've invested a lot of your time and your energy, and I feel like the more you invest in this, the more you realize you're kind of trying to piece it together and you're unhappy. So I feel like you're hitting some sort of wall here in which you're going to have to accept the fact that there's an opportunity here that you've been in limbo about, and choose to kind of commit to something here. And that does require a big change with the Death card, a big transformation in either a mindset, and also, you know, letting everything that's not serving you kind of fall away. And I do feel it's in a practical way here, you know, like I said, maybe how you're living, where you're living, who you're living with, where you're working, something about your lifestyle or your setup here. And it could be, you know, a relationship, a business arrangement, something here. So let's pull final messages here from spirits to see if we could see some more about what this is all about. So Spirit, thank you so much for that message. Can you please communicate what pile number 1 can expect to see in the immediate future here? Can we communicate anything I've missed, anything they need to know? Final words here in regards to what does pile number 1 need to know about this? Guidance, final words. Thank you so much. All right, so we have the Knight of Pentacles, disguised as the Chariot here with this deck. We have the Three of Wands. I absolutely love this deck, by the way, guys. Like, just deep, deep, deep messages. I did a review on this deck, which was my previous video here. This is the Shuffle Tarot, but absolutely love it. One of my favorite decks. Lots of messages that come through here, and there's lots coming through for your reading right now. We have the King of Squirrels. Interesting. All right, so 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Let's put that right there. So, beautiful pile number 1. What do I see? Well, I see whatever you've been in has been very long going. Although it has been moving, I feel like it is now going to be moving faster than it has been in the past, okay? But I feel it's very, very, very slow, you know, almost to a halt. We were seeing, you know, in the last little bit there that I was reading, that I felt like you were in limbo and not really deciding or moving forwards. Although I do feel like there was slow movement here. Universe is really guiding you towards, pushing you towards the future here. And I feel like there has been a period of pause, or you kind of waiting here to make sure for sure that this is kind of what you want for yourself. But I feel like you're exiting a state of where maybe you're taking things very lightly and you were able to keep things kind of more surface level. I do feel like maybe, you know, you've been more involved with your network of friends, or maybe keeping things light, or just keeping the peace and not allowing things to move kind of more in a more I don't know, it was like serious, deep way here. And now I feel like you're being called upon to take a look at your future here. And I feel like your future, yeah, is calling towards you here for something that I feel you haven't been moving towards. And I feel like with the Hermit card here, and I'm looking, this is the same Chariot guy here showing up in this card of the Hermit. And the Hermit is all about introspection and going inwards and reviewing what we want for ourselves here. And it could be a period of pause. I mean, this is also looked as a waiting period, very slow moving, but the Chariot is movement. So I feel like something about you weren't able to move. Although I feel like maybe you internally understood there was a need to move or what it was that you were needing. So I felt like you were taking a lot of, I was going to say abuse here almost with the 5 arrows. Yeah, like you've been in, I think the state of limbo, the state of reviewing, the state of sitting and contemplating, I feel like is bringing the pain, or has been bringing the pain. So when we're asking Spirit here for final words and guidance here, I feel like Spirit is saying in order for you to come out of a state here that is bringing you pain, there needs to be movement and a real thought about future that now moves away from maybe a social network of people, or you know, maybe even for some of you guys could be a partying type lifestyle here with this three of cups ladies now going into 3 of wands, getting a little more serious about their future moving forward here. But I feel like the pain or the sorrow or the grief here is brought upon by not allowing yourself to move. This is telling me both things, movement and non-movement, because the Hermit's all about non-movement and going inwards and really seeing what we want, but the Chariot's all about being called upon by the universe to move, because we can't sit stagnant. So it's like the universe has been calling you to move, but you have not been. And it could be, again, hanging on to something here out of an insecurity or a guilt. You know, either not moving forward because of an insecurity and being held back because of a guilt is kind of what I'm feeling here, okay? So there's a need to communicate, okay, with this 7 of Swords. Sorry, 8. I don't know why I said 7. 8 of Swords in reverse. So Swords is all about mental thought and communication, okay? This is in reverse. I feel like there's been a lot of review. There's been a lot of review going inwards and maybe telling ourselves certain things, but I feel like outwardly, I don't feel like there's been movement. I don't feel like there's been communication. I don't feel like there's been progress, but I feel like what Spirit's saying is there needs to be progress in how we're thinking and how we're communicating, okay? And I feel like it's stagnant, and in order to have a breakthrough and movement, which I feel it, all signs are pointing to movement with these cards, although I feel like you're trying to really stay back or hold back, or you are in a held back type energy, which is causing a lot of sadness here with the 5 of Cups, okay? And look how this person's kind of dragging these 5 cups behind, because I feel like if you're to move, you almost feel like you have to carry this weight of sadness with you. So there's something you're bound to here, or you feel bound to, that you can't quite break away from. So you feel like it's going to be something you're carrying as a heaviness. So you've been dedicated to, either out of guilt. This is giving me this heavy guilt, carrying this weighted thing with you. And maybe this is keeping you stagnant, keeping you in devil energy. Okay, although I do feel here with this King of Squirrels, and I do want to read the booklet here, because that's the special card that comes with this deck here with the King of Squirrels, and see what we're... Okay, so the King of Squirrels for this deck says dawn, friendship, success, shining, responsibility, deep connection, care, and delight. So looking at the new dawn there, I feel like you know there's something here, okay? Even with the moth. The moth is drawn to the light. The moth is drawn to, you know, the grass being greener kind of on the other side here. There's something you're being drawn towards that I feel like is a deep connection here, or a soul calling to you, okay? It's giving you clarity. It's making you happy. It's your joy. It's your contentment. See how we see the devil people here? These are the people that are in the devil card, okay? Because I feel like, I mean, this is giving me something still being tied to from the past. We got the devil card here and the guilt. I feel like there's a part of you that feels like if you're to move forward, and this was reversed, if you were to move forward, you know, that you're going to have to bring a piece of your past in some sort of way. And I don't know, I don't know why it's preventing you from moving forward. I feel like you're probably wanting to cut something completely or something like this. But what Spirit is saying here is, like, allow yourself to go through this journey. Like, I feel like maybe you wanted something really clear cut, or I don't know, like, yeah, like something cut before moving forward, or like really starting from fresh or something. But you're always waiting for the shoe to drop and it never kind of drops here. So Spirit is saying, trust yourself to go through this journey, to allow yourself to move forward. All signs are pointing you towards moving forward here. And I do feel like with this future, immediate future energy coming in, something is exposed here, okay? And I do feel like it's something that needs to be addressed, where you're then really having to move forward. And I don't feel like you felt like you were ready, or at least you knew that you had to, but for whatever reason you were not. And it had something to do with your past, or what you're currently engaged with, which I still feel is kind of a passing energy that you're still entertaining, or you're still involved with here. Okay, so Spirit is guiding you to trust the journey, and the guidance here is that you are empowered to move forward here, and that any sort of devil energy you have here is something that is tied to your past, that you're allotting a lot of energy to, or maybe telling yourself that this is what's holding you back in some way, but to allow yourself to let that go so you can move forward here. Yeah, this is the 8 of Wands, which is set up like the 8 of Swords. Yeah, this energy here is giving me the whole, you want to be inspired, you know, we saw that Ace of Wands, or something that fires you up, something you're really drawn to, passionately drawn to, and at the same time you're held back. And you're held back because you have a blindfold, a limiting belief, something with your past, something you're telling yourself, something that you're held back by, and it's your own creation, or your environment around you is making you feel limited. You feel there's a limitation here instead of being fired up and moving forward. Because the 8 of Wands is all about forward movement. You know, the 8 of Wands looks like this in traditional tarot, which is forward movement, breaking through. But here we have the 8 of Wands kind of in a prison, a mental prison holding you back. It's like the thing you want here, what you want to move towards, you're not, because of some other reason. And the 8 of Swords here in reverse, it's like this is thought and this is communication. So yeah, your own limitation here is preventing you from communicating a truth, or from having a breakthrough here, really articulating to yourself and to people around you and your environment here what it is that is your joy here, okay? And I do feel like you're connected to whatever this is here, and I do feel there's a deep understanding and a knowing, and I feel like the more in limbo you are, or in a state of withdrawn energy, I feel like there is pain attached to this. The moon coming out too, this is about feelings and, you know, your intuition. And I feel like no matter what state you're at, there's this deep feeling attached to knowing, you know, what it is that's passionately calling towards you. Yeah, so this is what I see here for you guys, pile number 1. If this resonated, leave a like, leave a comment. I'd be curious to see what this is about. And if you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. If you pick the Wolf card for pick number 2, then this is your reading. And the Wolf is all about, you know, maybe fighting for a cause here. Very protective of family, friends, a cause. Very fiery energy too. You might be resonating with Aries, Leo, Sag. So what we're going to be doing is taking a look at what's in store in your immediate future here. What does Spirit wants to communicate for future energies here, immediate future, timeless reading. Whenever you click on this video, the message was meant to find you. If you have a good intuition and you resonate with this reading, then this message is for you. However, if you're trying to develop your intuition here in order to confirm that indeed this is your reading, you might want to come up with an object, a person, place, thing, a phrase, a color, anything really that will come up throughout this reading here, a word, yeah, whatever it is that you intuitively come up with in order for you to confirm that this message is meant to find you. All right, so we have the Wolf and we have Facade. We have the Patron, which is mentorship and finances. We have 37 with realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. We have celebration. It's beautiful dove. Feel free to pause this video once the cards are out to see if you can see any sort of symbolization, anything here that is tying to your intuition, all right? Rather than me going through every single thing we see, like the dove, we have a tree here. It looks like father and son walking, a book. So just kind of pause and zoom in, see what you see here. So we have Vesta with hearth, number 32, or the number 5. We have lucid dream, awareness and opportunities. Bunch of butterflies in that one. We have Radha with soul flame, rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship harmony and healing. Just going to move these over so you guys can see more of these. All right, we have wisdom. Looks like octopus tentacles here and an eyeball. Let's see if we're in frame. Perfect. All right, and we have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And we have territory with 49, or the number 13. Okay, let's pull some tarot as well. Spirit, clear and concise for pile number 2. What is in the immediate future for pile number 2? Greatest and highest good of pile or pick number 2. What do we have here for pile number 2? Thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. And we'll thank Spirit for this clear and concise message for pile number 2. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so blessed, so grateful for this message. Thank you, thank you. All right, we have the Star, Aquarius energy. Spirit wants me to read them all upright. The 8 of Pentacles, which is looking like the 8 of Cups in this tarot deck, which I absolutely love. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the Wheel of Fortune. I'm pulling one more. Wow, very heavy message coming in. Knight of Pentacles for you guys, pile number 2. And we have the 9 of Pentacles here. Okay, very heavy message for you guys, pile number 2. And this message is that there is a calling here that you have for your future, okay? It's like your future calling of what you're supposed to be doing. I feel it is occupational, but I mean, it could very well be your dream as a child here. Of something you've always really wanted to do. It is your calling, okay? So I feel like this is going to be triggered by, for some of you guys, either you're just going to walk away from your existing job or what you're doing day in, day out. For some of you guys, you might lose your job, okay? And for some of you guys, I think you've already been contemplating this change and kind of waiting for the perfect time for you to move on towards doing what you want to do. So I feel like you've been working, for some of you guys, doing something here that isn't really in your wheelhouse. You have not been happy, and you've either been doing it obviously to pay the bills. Maybe you've been doing it in a practical way. It kind of makes sense here, but I feel like yeah, and maybe this is to support your family, you know, and you have other obligations here, you know, and I do feel like this calling or this move, I feel like it's something you've always really, really wanted to do, even as a young child, okay, but maybe it just seemed like something that was more of a desire, but you weren't able to bring it in a practical way. I feel like you're being destined to do this, and I feel like this is bringing in a sense of balance here to your life, okay? And it will balance out your practical needs as well as bringing in that happiness that you need. And I feel up until now, I feel like all it really could do would be bringing in this happiness, right? This joy, but in a practical way, it never really made a whole lot of sense here, because either you were dedicated to, you know, protecting your family or what have you here. So I feel you're leaving your security of the practicality of what you're doing, okay? Or like I said, for some of you guys, if you are losing your job, it's like you're having to leave this state, and most of you guys, you're walking away from the safety of the practicality in search of moving towards doing what this is calling you to do, because I feel you already understand it's fated, and it's kind of like your karmic path of what you're supposed to really be doing here. So you're being called to by the universe to move in this direction, okay? And I feel like there's something heavy here about the balance, because I feel like either it only brought the joy piece and everything else was out of whack, or in a practical way you couldn't support it, or vice versa. But now I feel with your immediate future, there's something about how you're positioned here that you're now able to balance things out and ride this through. And I feel like this gives you purpose, and this gives you yeah, like a feeling of being liberated towards actually being able to do what you want, okay? Yeah, the celebration and the wisdom here too. Like, not only do I feel like it brings you the sense of joy and contentment that you're able to celebrate that you're doing what it is that you love, but I feel like it's also a very wise move for you to move in this direction. It's almost like I said, like you're just being pulled towards this, okay? You're just being pulled by universe towards this. It just feels really right. It's like an opportunity to do this now. You have an awareness, but I feel like whatever you've experienced your whole life up until now, you're using that and integrating that into this job, I'll call it, I don't know, this creation, this passion pursuit, okay? But I do feel like it is your career, because I feel like this is something you're really going to be investing your time, energy, and being rewarded in a practical way financially, and being able to support yourself, maybe your family here, your finances here. But I feel as though you're utilizing all of your skills, okay? So there was a reason why maybe you had to work at, you know, the pizza place, or that whatever sales job, or that building, whatever it was that you were doing here. I feel like you're utilizing your skills and your talent here in order to strengthen this opportunity. And I feel you're really protective of this, you know. But I feel like what comes in here, and if for some of you guys, it could be through a dream, or all of a sudden you have this epiphany, this realization, okay, dream, realization, something where all of a sudden you're like, now's the time, okay? So if Spirit's talking to you, you'll get that as a message. It's undeniable how it comes to you, okay? But I feel like you've always kind of wanted to, or it was there as a thing, but I don't feel like there was really a clear indication as to when you were supposed to really be moving towards it, okay? Because this is all about timing here, and I feel like the time is now. Like, this is in your immediate future. There is a focus on when you're needing to act, and I feel like you're going to be in the right place, the right time, with the right clients. I feel like you're pulling in a lot of energy around you. You'll bring in a lot of different people. It's going to bring in a lot of energies here that are going to really be drawn to you, but I feel like you're centered, you're focused, and you're really captivating on a certain clientele or a certain market or niche, something like this, okay? Because I do feel like for a lot of you guys, you know, maybe there was a time where you didn't really want to risk something, and I feel like there is still potentially a risk for some of you guys, but I feel like the risk is different for all of you guys, okay? Like, some of you guys might be taking a big risk here in, you know, quitting a job here, or no longer being involved in something here where you just felt like you were, you know, living a facade and somewhere unhappy to do this, and you just kind of have this new realization and do that, and it works out well, you know, but you don't know how. It just kind of happens. And for some of you guys, you know, you might have not have made this jump because of the risk and your dedication here to maybe, you know, having to protect your family in a practical way, or maybe you needed that extra finances, or even to experience some sort of training or experience or something here that was, you didn't feel you were quite ready. I feel like you come to the point where then you're ready for yourself, whatever your comfort zone is of allowing yourself to move forward. And for everyone, it is something different, because I feel like you hit that part where you can't no more stay in something that doesn't feel right to your soul. Yeah, and I feel this brings a lot of healing to yourself, and very interesting with soul flame here. And this hearth with this Vesta, look at this soul flame. Like, it is a soul flame for sure, indeed. Rediscover a lost part of yourself, okay? This is something that you, in past lives, could have been very strong in, or at least there is something in your inner child here that understands this is your soul calling. This is something you're very good at, okay? And I do feel like it's a dream. It's a dream come true. It's, for a lot of you guys, you might even be in the public eye here, okay, with this star. You know, like with the spotlight on you, I do feel like this is at the heart of what your calling is, okay? And you will be celebrated for your talent here, your ability to do what it is you're doing here. And I feel like you finally have that realization that you can't be patching, you know, yourself together here in a practical way if you're not happy. Because I feel like this is, you know, this is the card of anxiety when it's the Nine of Swords, but in this tarot deck, it depicts the, you know, the Nine of Pentacles here. And look at these pentacles are all kind of patched up. It's like hanging on to something because it works practically, but feeling anxious about it, having massive anxiety and not happy, because we know, you know, in our soul and our calling here, that the flame to do what's actually passionately driving us forward is something that we're needing to act on, okay? And I feel there is movement towards this. And I feel like, you know, there might be, there might have been slow movement towards this, so you might have maintained this and another job at some point in time. I do feel like it's something that is definitely destined for you to do, and that the timing for all of you guys could be at a different point here. But I feel in the immediate future, the timing is right. And I also feel like the universe is pushing you forward, whether you are moving slowly or, you know, at a comfortable pace. I feel like the balance is right. The balance is finally right. The wheel turning in the right direction here for you to move forward with this is definitely what you're waiting for. And here's the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So we were in a comfort zone here when it came to a practical world, right? Maybe we were held back because we didn't want to, you know, let go of our practical world here and say, well, if I, you know, quit my job, or if I focus on something here, you know, then I don't know that I'm going to be able to make something happen here. I feel like whatever was holding you back, I feel is released here. And it is because of a heavy anxiety and an understanding that the practical world isn't the be all end all. And it's kind of like living this facade here and making things fit for what? It's bringing a lot of grief, but also out of a situation of grief, which I think might be some of you guys losing your job, or I don't know, having you know, a divorce, or going through some sort of life situation here that opens this door to this opportunity where now you're able to make a decision that really impacts your desire, your passion for your career, for your future. All right, so let's take a look at final words here from Spirit and see what Spirit wants to communicate. Spirit, any final words here, words of advice, anything I've missed here in regards to pile number 2 and what's in their immediate future? Anything further clarity, guidance? Pull those two. All right, so we have the Two of Wands. We have the Lovers, looking like the Judgment. We have the Star coming out in reverse, although Spirit did say to read them upright at the beginning. I am feeling that Star wanting to stay in the reverse. Okay, so what do we see here? I mean, this doesn't really matter upright or reverse, but what I'm seeing here is up until now, there was a choice here, okay? And the choice was always to be able to move in the direction of your calling here. I feel like you've been sacrificing this desire, this hope, this star here. And I feel like the sacrifice here could have been because of, you know, choosing to again, protect another here. It could be a family situation, could be you had to, you know, support somebody here. There was a decision here with the Lovers. This is all about a decision here of choosing one path, okay? Choosing one path. And I do feel like with the two people here, I feel like you could have possibly felt, I don't want to say held back, but like what you would do would impact someone around you, you know, somebody around you would be impacted by your decision here, or maybe you needed full buy-in from somebody around you, something like that, that was kind of maybe stopping or stopping you from moving forward. And maybe someone outright said no, or, you know, there was something here about another involvement here with another person, and it could be your spouse, okay? What Spirit is saying, though, is that you're destined to move in this direction. You're having this epiphany, okay? This is the Judgment in the Lovers card. So I feel like now what's in your immediate future is you hit this point of having to really face this truth of the matter. And it's, do I want to continue in this facade, or do I want to do, you know, what my inner child here has been calling me to do? And face this as something that I'm destined to move towards, that might seem like it's far away and very difficult for you to attain. And maybe you've needed the guidance and assistance of somebody else here, because the Three of this is giving me Three of Pentacles, although it's the Three of Swords. I feel like, yeah, this is totally it, okay? This is somebody around you. You needed buy-in, or you needed them to kind of maybe cooperate or help or have buy-in here, and they didn't. So it created the sadness in the reason why this didn't move forward. This created why it wasn't progressing, or some, you know, this is heartache, is the Three of Swords. It's separation. It's not being able to, you know, go towards what we want. There's that grief, there's that facade. And it's like maybe you were dependent on somebody here, you know, that was kind of stopping you, or at least why you felt you couldn't have that decision. So I do feel what this is showing is that despite whether somebody is game or not, whether you have assistance or not, I feel like you're no longer letting any sort of heartache or heartbreak or somebody's involvement here stop you from this. I feel like you're moving forward with this opportunity, okay? And I feel like you have been in a state of limbo for quite some time here in moving towards this, because of the fact that some other involvement was stopping this movement. So I do feel you're ready to go here. You're ready to commit yourself to something here in which you were not moving and you're stagnant for quite some time. And I do feel it, like I said, it was involving somebody else. But now there's a realization here, right around the corner here, that the reason you weren't moving towards your star, your desire, was because of, you know, your involvement, how you engage with someone else, or maybe you were dependent on someone in some way here to make something happen, or you needed someone's buy-in or someone's support or something like that. All right, so you're moving in that direction. You get very clear. I feel like you are celebrated. This is something that's very joyous. I feel like it is your soul purpose, your calling here. I mean, we can have multiple reasons and soul purposes here, but something that is really your core of who you are and what you're very good at and what you want to do. I mean, the awareness here with this card that says awareness, this is Judgment. The Lovers is all about what we're destined to go down in a path, okay? It could be choosing a person, or choosing a life path, a lifestyle, a career that we absolutely love. I feel like you're choosing this destined, you know, this destined path here, because you're coming to full awareness that that is your calling. That's the heart of the matter here. And you no longer want to pretend, you know, that you're okay with something in a practical way and sacrifice or give up a piece of you that you want to be able to really hone in on. Realization, judgment, awareness, okay? It's like you get very clear about what you're wanting to do here. All right, so you might have also, what I'm hearing from Spirit is at some point you might have given up on this dream, okay? You might have, well, maybe when you got married, maybe you got in a relationship, maybe you started another business, maybe you, like I said, Wands is all about career, so you could have went down a different career path, okay, and invested in that, and then maybe somehow committed yourself to something there, although I feel like it took you away from your destined path, okay? So rediscover a lost part of yourself. I feel the lost part of yourself is where you gave up on your dream or your hope, This comes into full awareness. You have a realization that this is what you're needing to do. And I feel like for some of you guys may be asking, what is this? Because maybe you don't know what this is. And once it comes to you, you'll know. But I feel like this involves other people. Okay, I feel it involves some sort of limelight. I feel like people are drawn to you in a like there's a spotlight around you and people are kind of pulled into you, in towards you. So mentorship, you could be coaching people, you could be assisting other people, but I do feel like you're pulling in a lot of energies here, and you're allowing people to go on their own, kind of taking a piece of whatever it is that you're either selling to them or coaching them on or gearing them up. Like I feel like they come to you and they leave a lot stronger. They leave a lot more in a positive state than when they came to you. So I don't know what this is, because again, all of you guys could be something different, but I do feel like you're helping liberate people or free people. It could be a cause here as well, okay, because the wolf speaks of us having a cause, a niche around a cause here where you're mentoring or coaching people and you're liberating them from something or giving them something that helps them. And I feel like I mentioned this before, your experience in your existing career or what you've experienced in your life, you're now able to implement this in this journey of yours with the wisdom that you have, and you also enable others to leave you with a sort of wisdom that they might have not have had prior to coming towards you. And if you are concerned here, what Spirit wants me to also mention is you will be very successful in attaining clientele or marketing your business or allowing others to hear about what it is you're providing. I feel you don't have to do a lot. I feel people are really drawn to you, okay? And I think this gives you confidence in maintaining this. And yeah, it's a very beautiful energy I feel here, okay? So I hope this helped you guys. Beautiful pile number 2. Let me know in the comments. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous. Number 3, you picked the Firefly energy here. You could be resonating with the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, just because I do get that from the Firefly, although we have air energy coming out as well, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So this is a creative energy here, okay? Very creative, although it burns very bright. It's short-lived with the Firefly energy here. Just kind of seeing right in front of you kind of energy. So let's take a look at what Spirit wants to communicate in regards to your immediate future, what energies are coming in the immediate future for you. Now, if you are highly intuitive and you're resonating with this, great. You'll know it's your pile. If you are working on your intuition and you want to confirm this message is for you, I've asked that you come up with a person, a place, thing, animal, color, word, song, phrase, whatever it is we're going to see here for you to confirm indeed this is your reading. All right, so let's take a look at what we have. We have complacency. You might want to pause the video as well once the cards are out and zoom in and see what you see, because you might see something here, like I said, for your intuition, right? Like here we have a ripped ticket, very hard to see there unless I'm, calling all these details. We have snowflakes, we have trees, we have clouds. So there's lots you can kind of zoom in on. Use your intuition, like I mentioned. We have the alchemist, balance, invention, and destruction. Acorns, seashells, oak leaves. Balance, invention, and destruction. We have alchemy. Oh my goodness, look at you guys. 2 different tarot decks. And I don't look at these. I just shuffle on. I haven't looked at these at all. Alchemy. So it says the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability to and remembrance of the magic that we hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. Number 8. Isn't that something interesting? We have sacred union. We have 10th house with authority, number 48, or the number 12. 10th house, authority. This is career, long-term goals, structure, reputation, or public image. Masculinity, fathers, men, experts, fame, that sort of thing. Okay. Interesting. We have water, emotions, initiation, and rejuvenation. Water. Okay. We have Saint Germain, karma releasing, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. Make room for good energy. Okay. Create your own path. All right. We have karmic justice. What is going on here? Karmic releasing, karmic justice. It's little beetles. This is very, very synchronistic, this reading. We have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Replace it with insight of awareness. Okay. And we have self-interest with 45, or the number 9. Self-interest. The crow flying off with the rat. Okay, let's pull some tarot here. See if we see some more. So Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 3. Too many cards. They want to come out, they will. We'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for pile number 3. What is coming in their immediate future energetically for pile number 3, the immediate future? What is in store? Thank you so, so much, Spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Pile number 3, or option number 3. Thank you so much. And thank you so, so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy and the energy around you at this time. All right, keep in mind this is a timeless reading, so whenever this message finds you, it was meant for you. All right, so we have the King of Swords in the scene of the the Hierophant in this tarot. This is the Shuffle Tarot. Oh, that one really spit out. We have the Ace of Wands. Clear and concise message, Spirit. We have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Four of Swords. Spirit wants them all in the upright, and that's the scene of the Four of Wands. And we have the Sun at the bottom with the Hermit depicted here on the Sun card. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see. It's probably about as good as it's going to get here. Let's shuffle them over. Okay, so give me a second here to pick up this energy, pile number 3. Okay. So you guys are in a kind of a state maybe of, feels almost like stalemate or reflection. Maybe there hasn't been a lot of movement here. I mean, with the Hermit, the Four of Swords is reflective, going inward, seeing what we really want for ourselves. You might have been there for a while. You might have been sticking to tradition or things that you were traditionally expected to do in a logical sense here. And I feel like maybe things have gotten pretty complacent or just kind of there. But I feel there is something here that you know intuitively. Okay, this is how you might know if you're resonating with this pile. I feel like there's something calling you here, and I feel that you feel it in your emotions deep down, that there's part of you that's wanting to shift out of this and almost be reborn here. and go after something that you're going to have to create yourself. Okay, so I feel this looks like the figure from the Justice. I don't know, could be the Strength card, although the Strength card is the female. But what I'm picking up here is a balance energy, because I'm feeling like a balance from this, a balance from this. And this is all talking about balance as well. And when you do alchemy, you're kind of mixing energies here, taking an energy and shifting it to something else. So I feel like you've been not producing something in a way here, taking the initiative to do something here. And it's funny that we have the water, which is all the feminine energy I feel here, because it's emotions, and right beside the masculine type energy here. So we're talking about balance, and I feel like maybe we weren't alchemizing where our feelings are involved here in towards investing in something here that brings us joy and contentment, you know, and enlightenment. And we've been kind of reflective in this state, and I feel like it's almost like a state of, yeah, like stale. And I feel like you've been really focused on looking at what excites you here, what's going to bring you a lot of abundance, you know, and logically I feel like you're kind of maybe telling yourself, or have told yourself, that you got to stick to some sort of traditional thing here. And you have been, but what Spirit is saying is that there's something here with you living out whatever karmic situation or experience you've had. And what's in the near future here is you now needing to experience your next piece of this karmic experience here. Like you have to let go of something here that I feel is no longer serving you in order to make room for something new and fresh. Okay, this sacred union is kind of throwing me off, because I see this as two people here coming together. This is also about union, coming together, marriage, two people. So, and this is all about emotions, okay? But the energy I'm feeling here, this is also about marriage. So the energy I'm feeling here, is very interesting. I feel like you have been very closed off to emotional things here, and very focused on the traditional way of being, but at the expense of, I feel, your own true emotional, addressing your true emotional happiness out of a fear here, okay? And fear can mean different things, really, but at the root of everything, there's a fear here of really looking and asking yourself where there is happiness, okay? Divine masculine energy, which is all about empowering ourselves to move towards something we're passionate about, and abundance. And I feel like with all this fruit at the top of this wand, it's like I get Empress energy out of the abundance here. The Empress is divine feminine, water, sacred union. There might be somebody here you're feeling like you're wanting a commitment here with. Although I think logically you're sticking to some sort of tradition. Logically, I feel you're focused on almost like survival mode is kind of what I feel here, although it is a complacent energy. And I feel like it isn't bringing balance. Now it's bringing destruction to you. Okay, I feel like any further into this karmic lesson that I think you've already kind of graduated out of, or should have moved out of already, and you're still in, Spirit is asking you to release this, because I feel like you're now being called to enter in another period of your karmic life path here that I feel you're being called to move towards here with a deep sense of passion, and you're being ignited towards this. But I feel like you're in denial, and I feel like you're in denial here is out of some fear, or out of some need to stick to something here that I feel is going to cause some destruction now, because you're not able to turn this into anything anymore, because it's kind of exhaust. So I feel like, yeah, there's something here wanting you to really take whatever is coming in here energetically and be empowered to go towards what you're feeling or what you're passionately being called towards. Because I feel like you're maybe being too logical or too traditional or too structured in a way that isn't allowing you for movement. And there is a rebirth here that's calling for you, because I really feel like you're having to release some sort of karma thing in order for there to be space in your life here. And I feel it could very well be a relationship here. Okay, and maybe you're tied to some marriage or in a sort of a situation, in a traditional situation that you're committed to in some way. So maybe you've been reflecting a lot on this and been stagnant, unable to move, and really taking an inner look at what you want for yourself here. So I feel like in the near future, I feel you get enlightened, or you get some clarity around how you actually feel, where you're being initiated towards, because this is all about initiation. I mean, the Ace of Wands is that spark of inspiration to start a new beginning, and what we're being called to do here. And the Knight of Wands doesn't hesitate. He moves in full of passion. We have initiation here, so I feel like something about the emotional body here is calling you to act on something, and it could be with another person here if you're being drawn to someone here with the sacred union. I mean, sacred is definitely a deep, deep soul connection here, and seeing karma, somebody who you're kind of have this karmic contractual thing with here. Okay, so maybe you've been not allowing yourself to initiate any new energy here. I do feel you're needing to balance this out. Self-interest. Yeah, I think you've been turning a back here on something. And it could be that you've been telling yourself it's out of self-interest, but it's a state of in denial, and maybe it's like survival mode here. Turning your back on something here, survival mode, denial, something coming towards you or has been in your energy field here that's needing to be balanced out and worked with. That takes some courage and some strength, some willpower, and some ability for you to let go of any fear or denial, or and I feel like your self-interest here is your attempt to maybe even sabotage something here, but I feel it's causing also destruction here. This is interesting. Hoping this is making sense to you guys, because there's a lot going on here. So let's see, Spirit, can we get some more clarity here? Anything I missed? Can we get more clear in regards to pile number 3 and their immediate future? What is this all about? More clarity, please. All right, so we have the 3 of Cups, Spirit saying all in upright. The Wheel of Fortune, there is that karmic wheel again, karmic justice, karmic releasing, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords. So interesting, this is the 3 of Cups, although it looks very much like the 3 of Swords in this tarot deck, okay? And this is the 3 of Swords, which looks like the 3 of Pentacles. Heartache, separation, but neither of these have swords through the heart. So I feel there is a fear, and this is the denial maybe, that there would be heartbreak in some way. Yeah, okay, this is a loud message. How do I articulate this? So I feel like there's an understanding here. Oh, this is the same guy we were seeing that I wasn't sure if he was, who he was. Anyway. Like which tarot scene he was from, and I feel it could be from the Justice, but again, yeah, here he is again. Oh, this is the Magician. I'm sorry. Yes, Magician. Okay. All making sense now. Complete sense. Sorry. Sometimes Linda is slow. The Magician. Manifestation. Okay, you're having to do something here with the alchemy. You can't just sit around and be complacent, essentially, at the end of the day. Okay, and I feel you're manifesting something, but I don't feel like you're doing something with it, because I feel like there's a fear of heartache heartbreak, experiencing a heartache or a heartbreak. But what Spirit is saying is like, that's where the blood of life is here, okay? That's where the celebration and the joy and the coming together is. But I think there's a fear of working together or being exposed to this and collaborating here, okay, out of maybe fear of getting hurt, okay? But I feel like that is the only way here for you to really alchemize a situation in collaborating, in working together, in moving forward here with emotions in order for you to experience this joy and this coming together. Okay, that's the blood life. And I feel like the Magician here is really manifesting this towards him, because I feel like karmically, okay, karmically, and here he is again sitting on the wheel. I feel like you're already at the point where karmically, I love these cards. I can't express to you how much I love these cards. This is the Shuffle Tarot. So many messages. All right. The Magician. I feel like you've manifested something here, but you haven't acted, and you're kind of stagnant here. So you're bringing something in, and then it comes, or at least it's in your life, and you're kind of like, all right, and you're not really acting on or alchemizing a situation or doing something here that you're supposed to be doing. You're kind of sitting on it. So now you're needing to release something karmically that's going on around you in order to make room for what you're karmically being asked to bring in here. And I see this with the karmic justice. There's something here that needs to be now, you know, transformed here from the Magician's point of view here, that you're able to bring in a balance here to your situation. And I feel intuitively you know this. We saw the Hermit. We're now seeing the High Priestess. This is through intuition and dreams and a higher knowing. Okay, Queen of Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. In a practical way here, I feel like, you know, you're able to do something here and act and show up. And I think your intuition is telling you this. Destiny's telling you this, but there's a fear of getting hurt, and maybe it's a heartache that's holding you back or some sort of experience. But I don't know that you've experienced a heartache, more so as I think you fear some sort of a heartache or a disappointment here in a situation that you're not moving forward from. You're kind of being in this complacent energy, you know, sitting on this wheel where it's like Spirit saying release any karma here. And it's okay if you only see, you know, the path ahead of you. This Firefly energy, like I said, runs out of energy after a certain time, is very bright and can only see kind of first few feet in front of it. It doesn't really see the long game, and maybe this is, you know, scary in some way, but we saw the Knight of Wands, which is also in this energy, you know, it's like taking that first step, that Ace of Wands, that first step, initiating that first step. I feel towards what you want is going to allow you to progress and move things forward, because I don't feel you've done this. I feel like you're stagnant, and I feel like it's causing destruction around you. I do feel like it involves a union here, somebody else collaborating with someone else. Emotionally, I feel you're feeling this. Intuitively, you're feeling this. All signs point to feeling this. You're needing to act on this, I feel, and really take this and turn it into something here. And I feel you've turned your back on it, or again, doing something here that might be self-sabotaging in some way. This is interesting. All right, let's see. Final message here from Spirit. Sorry if this isn't as pointed and as clear, because I feel like we're missing some things, but there's just too many messages here coming through for you. Let's see. Final guidance here for pile number 3, Spirit. Thank you so much for that. Can we get final guidance or anything they need to know that I might have missed? Final guidance. Thank you so much. Pile number 3, their immediate future. This is final guidance. Something I've missed they need to be aware of. I do feel all these. So we have the Sun again coming out with the Hermit card and the beautiful sunflowers, Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and we have that 3 of Cups coming out again. Okay. So, Spirit is really wanting to hammer home. Love the yellow here, okay? Yellow, all divine masculine energy. It's getting enlightened. I feel like there's a need for you to accept some sort of knowing. I feel you have some enlightenment. I think you have had, because I think you went inwards, and it's some desire, some hope that I feel you have here, okay? And I don't feel you've acted on this opportunity. You've been in limbo. And I feel like Spirit is saying you have a chance to act on this opportunity and move forward. Okay, this is movement. Although Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving energy, the fact that it's converted here to the Chariot. Chariot is all about movement, and it's where the universe kind of pushes us towards getting through a situation so that we're, you know, in a balanced way, pulling through adversity, but getting through. But it is movement. Okay, so maybe you've been really contemplating, not moving. Maybe something was so slow or not moving. Spirit's wanting you to pick up the pace here, follow on an opportunity, plant the seed, because there's a enlightenment here. There's an understanding here that you have, okay? And I feel like what Spirit wants you to know is do not allow yourself, your fear, your denial here, or feeling as though you might experience some sort of a heartache or a yeah, like there's something here that you're not wanting to experience, okay? And it could be you're complacent, and maybe a fear of stepping forward here. But I feel like what Spirit is saying is this is kind of the, again, the lifeline, the energy in which you utilize here and alchemize that type of an energy in order for you to come together here. And I'm seeing, again, 3 of Cups. This is coming together, celebrating, union, you know, joy. I feel like I'm getting a very heavy, like, working with others, coming out and allowing yourself to experience, express yourself from a heart place here, okay? That's really what I'm getting here in order for things to kind of move with this opportunity. Yeah, and guidance from Spirit really is that if you are ready, understand that this is something that brings you clarity, or that you feel brings you joy, or that you understand as it being your wish or your hope to no longer be in a state of limbo here. You have to get moving and turn whatever that energy is towards movement. I feel like if you don't release something here, you might not be making space for something here. Karmic justice. I think because we were also seeing the Magician, something about timing. You don't want to miss your timing. There's something important about timing here, Spirit. Can we get whatever message is about timing? Destruction. Yeah, because we were getting, if you stay in this, whatever, not releasing your karma, there's something here about destruction. And I also feel like if you don't move, there's something here about timing. What is it, Spirit? Queen of Cups. I'm going to turn them upright. The Emperor. Tower. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So now I'm getting heavy energies here. The Sacred Union, I feel like there is love here, okay? Love for another. Maybe someone's showing you love. There's compassion. Here's the Intuition card again. Your intuition, your heart, your emotional body. Something here is really pulling you towards something, or there's a knowing understanding, okay? And I feel like maybe you've been in a healing state. This feels to me like the Strength card, lady, or the Strength card. So I feel like you've been sitting on moving forward, allowing yourself to move forward, okay? Because it was calling you to be strong, to be courageous, to move forward and act on some emotional matters here with the Queen of Cups. And I feel there's someone around you giving love, or very abundant. And I feel like you haven't been, okay, in this Emperor energy, which is someone who is able to act. This is the Divine Masculine coming again. This is taking the power in order to act. Come out of that, you know, that throne or that sitting position to go and make something happen here. Chariot, funny, about movement again, okay? So the Emperor sitting in this chariot, having to move forward, to be empowered to move forward. I don't think you have. And I don't think you're breaking out of whatever denial here, you know, and turning a situation. And what Spirit is saying with the timing is there will be a tower where you can no longer avoid having to commit yourself with the Hierophant headpiece here, okay, to a situation, or you will be faced with having to stick with the aftermath of something here, which could be very destructive. So I feel like the Tower happens when we sit idle and we don't do anything or actively making a decision, okay? Or the Tower here could happen where we lie to ourselves, or we do something where we think it's in our best interest, but we're not really being honest, and maybe we're self-sabotaging, you know, and we don't turn a situation towards what we're supposed to be doing here, and empowered to do something, and then things collapse here, maybe because we're sticking to a tradition, you know, or something that we're committing ourselves to that's a lie or not built on truths, and it comes tumbling down, and then we have to deal with the aftermath. So what is this? This is movement needs to happen. Someone needs to get empowered here. It's based on intuition. It's based on love, based on how we feel deep inside. I feel like there is a huge understanding here that you have. We were seeing the Hermit, you know, and look, we see the Strength, the Lion here in the background. So I feel like you're needing to dig into that 8, okay? 8 is all about inner strength, courage, you know when to pull forward. And I don't feel you have been empowered, or at least moving in this direction. So what's coming up for you guys in the future? I feel there is you getting very clear about this having to be the thing, and what you're having to do is really take charge of an opportunity here despite fears, and act on this. And it could very well be because you experience this Tower, because something about timing, or you could prevent a Tower from, you know, getting empowered right now and doing something here. But I feel like a lot of you guys are needing to bring in this balance, okay, and turn whatever situation is here where you are complacent, and turn it into forward movement towards what's actually calling towards you, what you're wanting to move towards. And in order to do that, something has to be released, okay? You don't have to see the end game, but you need to at least move forward and see what's in front of you. Move towards what's exciting you, your passion, your desire, your intuition. All right, so this is what I see here for you guys. Beautiful pile number 3. I hope this resonated for you. Sorry for the long reading. I wish it were a little more clear here, because there was a lot of energy I'm feeling here. Very difficult to express it all, but I hope the message for the most part came through, and I love you guys very much. I'll see you soon. Bye.